Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Valentine's Day, Greg. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Nancy. Good morning, Courtney. Grand Rising, Samantha. Love to all from Lisa and Bonnie. Hi, Patty and Kat. Good morning, Sweat. Sweat says she has a meeting in 15 minutes, so she shall tune into my YouTube. Yes, thank you. That's exactly why I record these, so you guys can have access 24/7. Oh, the comment was removed for a free resource. Interesting. Good morning, Nicole. Happy Valentine's Day, Christine. Happy Valentine's Day, Melanie. Good day, April. Darla's here with us today. How have you guys been? If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am joining you from Northern Illinois. Today we're here to talk about Venus, the final planet that is going to enter Aquarius this time around, and the final planet who is going to make a conjunction with Pluto. Melinda, I can't remember if I said good morning to you. Good morning, Debbie. Hello, Irina. Happy Wednesday. So how has the Mars-Pluto conjunction been treating all of you guys? We talked about it on Monday, but the conjunction was exact about 8 hours ago. Stroke of midnight, Valentine's Day morning, Central Time. But holy smokes, I've felt this conjunction much more than the Sun's conjunction with Pluto or Mercury's conjunction with Pluto. Sophia had a horrible nightmare. So I was so triggered on Monday night by a completely benign comment. And I'm still trying to process where all of these emotions are coming from. But I feel like Pluto is just laying it all out on the table. Here's everything that you've tucked away for 10 years. Here's everything that you haven't dealt with. Here's everything that you said, I'll deal with it later. Here's something you haven't processed yet. Oh, here's some more. Here's another situation. Here's another feeling. And oh my goodness. And so I've been pulling my own cards on it. And the message that I keep getting is you've got to feel it to heal it. And in these sessions on Insight Timer, we've been getting the messages to sit with the shit. That was one of my sessions last week. It's what I titled my video. And to use these uncomfortable emotions to create something you desire. So hopefully Venus can bring some softness to the quality of time right now. We'll see. Greg, great. Lots of focused, get things done energy. Wonderful. I'm glad that you're utilizing this for your highest good. Kat says, angry, tired, all over the place. April, Monday, ugh. Christine right there with me. Yeah, it was something just so nonchalant. No harm intended, and I've been like festering with all these emotions for over 24 hours. So, good morning, Carol. So Venus, guys, will enter Aquarius on Friday, February 16th. And she'll remain there until March 11th. But before we talk about how Venus tends to act in Aquarius, I want to bring some more attention to her conjunction with Pluto. It's going to be the last planet that's going to conjunct Pluto for some time. I didn't even look ahead to see what's coming next. Yeah, nothing for this time around. So, let's see. Venus is coming conjunct with Pluto. So last week, I briefly described that I was seeing Venus in Capricorn, where she's been. Venus in Capricorn as a woman gardening, sowing the land, fertilizing it. Venus represents what we value, and Capricorn, where she's been since January 23rd, represents tending to our projects, taking the slow approach and playing the long game. So here, Venus has been in Capricorn, making all the little small, tiny adjustments to her garden. And as she's preparing to change gears into innovative Aquarius, she's ready to upgrade her tools. But she and her garden suddenly fall into Pluto's sinkhole. But while she's in that sinkhole, she finds a portal that she wouldn't have known about if she had stayed above ground as she expected. So Venus brings resources for us. Venus holds a strong feminine quality, and feminine energy, yin, represents being receptive, taking in what's given to you and producing something practical with that. So I think it's quite beautiful, the progression of the planets making their conjunction to Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Pluto, the destroyer, the god of the underworld, has been digging a deep, giant, gaping hole at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which can show itself on the world stage and in our personal lives, depending on where we have 0 degrees of Aquarius in our chart, whatever house it's by, whatever planets it might be by. So the sun was the first to meet with Pluto, but this happened while Pluto was taking his very last breath in Capricorn. So here comes the sun to shine a light on what Pluto had been uncovering in Capricorn since 2008. It's almost like we left the light on in Capricorn until Pluto goes back there this September. Then Mercury met with Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Feels like forever ago, but this was just last Monday, February 5th. And Mercury saw the hole that Pluto had been digging, saw some of the shadowy parts of himself, saw some of the shadowy parts of the world, and Mercury asked himself, Mercury's all mental, so he said, what do I think about this? What do I have to say about this? Then just a few hours ago, Mars saw the hole that Pluto has been digging. Mars, the planet of action and aggression, took a look at the shadows, and he asked himself, what am I going to do about this? How is this going to fuel my action? And now Venus will have her turn on Saturday, February 17th. And I see her falling into Pluto's hole and asking, how can I use this? What can I make from this? How can I build upon this? Because Venus truly sees the value in the shadow. And it's beautiful that she's the last. It feels like these last 2+ weeks of darkness has had a purpose all along. And the more we're able to lean into our feminine, the more we're able to open up and say thank you to the universe for what's being given to us right now, no matter what's being given to us, the less we try to masculine control the situation, and the more we feminine flow with it and find the value in the pain, the more beautiful this result can be. Because we talk about this all the time, nothing's ever happening to you, everything's happening for you, no matter how painful it is. And then Venus starts her journey in Aquarius the day before she meets with Pluto. Venus enters Aquarius on Friday, February 16th, and she will remain in Aquarius until March 11th. So Venus in Aquarius values walking to the beat of her own drum. This can look like handling the heavy emotions of the last few weeks in a way that's really best for you, because you know that when you're good, when you're healed and level-headed, everyone will be good. And you may feel like you've got to process this your way, not how others suggest that you process. Venus in Aquarius knows how to find resources, and perhaps will even invent new resources to achieve the long-term goals that she set in Capricorn. When Venus enters Aquarius this Friday, this gives us 5 planets in Aquarius. That's half of the planets that we use in basic astrology. So the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Pluto will all be in Aquarius for a few days before the sun enters Pisces on Sunday, the 18th. So Friday and Saturday are wonderful, heavy Aquarius days, wonderful days to connect with like-minded individuals. The quirkier, more niche, the better. With 5 planets in Aquarius, this highlights the uniqueness in all of us. Our own ability to do life on our terms, but to also find community in doing so. And the message of being authentic has been coming up a lot over the last 3 weeks, since the sun entered Aquarius on the 20th of January. And authenticity takes courage. I honor that it can be difficult to be fully yourself when you fear of being judged for who you are. But as we talked about on Monday, just a brief recap, we were asking what to do with whatever uncomfortable feelings were coming up. And one of the messages brought this to my awareness as above, so below. So the lower you go into the shit, the higher you're able to go into the joy. So with this, being fully who you are, even though there's fear of rejection, as above, so below. The more you confront that fear of rejection, the stronger your bonds will become with the people who honor the true you. So when it comes down to it, sure, you might lose some fake friends, some surface level support, but what will be left is the real deal. Heavy Aquarius energy calls for heavy authenticity and heavy community support. And during that time, I didn't want to stop my flow. I saw 11:11 on the timer, and as I stopped, it was at 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. I love those numbers. Bonnie says, if Venus is in Aquarius in my birth chart, will this placement have a stronger impact? So what that's going to do for anyone who has Venus in Aquarius is bring your Venus return. So transiting Venus will cross over your Venus. And let me sit with that for a second, what that can feel like. Venus represents what we value, so you may be having situations right now that are really redefining what your values are, where they lie. And Venus in Aquarius is all about that community aspect. So valuing the people who are around you, valuing the support that's around you, valuing your own unique essence as well. Is it time to start walking more authentically to the beat of your own drum? Caroline also has Venus in Aquarius. So we're going to use 2 different decks to ask 2 different questions. And if you guys have been following me for some time, I tend to use the same deck when we ask Venus questions because it just feels like a Venus deck to me. So we are going to use Work Your Light to ask, how does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? Not even asking about Pluto. We'll do that with the second question. This is a general Venus in Aquarius from February 16th until March 11th. How does she want to serve us? Christine's got a lot going on. Thank you, Sweat. We'll see you soon. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. It's going to be a group reading. And says it's been quite a few challenging weeks physically and mentally. Lots of transformation, old and past things surfacing from the depths. You have Moon in Aquarius. All these planets are passing over your Moon, over your personal emotions, what you need to feel emotionally fulfilled. It's like a reset. It's like an emotional reset. Time to go deep and be authentic, and the fake friends will fade away. Yep, absolutely, Melanie. And it's a spiral. It's a spiral. You're going to show a little bit of your authenticity, and your community is going to shift a little bit, and then you're going to show more of your authenticity, and your community is going to shift a little bit more. And it's like an ever-going process. The more you're true to yourself, the more the universe will bring you people who are actually meant for you. So how does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? If this is your first time with me, I'll let you know that I always do group readings. So every single card that comes out is going to be a message for you. But after I allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck for us, I'm going to show you the backs of the cards. So you're going to see the same image 3 times. The image will not change. But what I want you to sit with is your intuition. Notice if any card feels different than another one, if any card might feel stronger, if a card maybe even looks different. You know, sometimes people say that certain parts of the card back will stand out to them. Your physical body might feel something different when I hold up a certain card. Something might change in your awareness. Darla might move around. I love when Darla moves around. She lets us know which messages are stronger. So if nothing changes, your intuition isn't broken. It's just that the whole reading holds equal importance for you. But if you feel or notice anything different on any of these cards, let us know in the chat which is resonating with you most. So how does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you, and I'll show you the backs one more time just in case. Here is the back of card number 1. How does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Melissa has this deck. It's a nice deck. Let's see. Jackie is working with 2 and 1, Patty 3, Andriana 3, Jess 1, April 2, Lisa 3 back tingles, Irina 1, 3, 2, Jennifer all 3 with 2 and 3 being the strongest. Excuse me. Greg 1 and 2. Michelle, my bell, it's 2 and 3 for me. 2 kept coming to mind when you started and I got goosebumps on 3. Cool. Barbara 2, Michelle 1, 2, and 3. Christine 1 and 2, Nancy 3, Nicole 2, Maxine 3, Carol 2 and 3, Leanne 3, Stacy 1, Shauna 1, Chantel 3, then 1, Janelle 1 and 2, Tracy 2 and 3, Sophia 2, Nicole all 3, Kelly 3, Melanie 3, 2, then 1 at the second. Christine, on 1, my cat showed up and a bird flew by. Bonnie 1 and 3, Suzanne 1, then 3, then 2, Alyssa 1 and 3. Cool. How does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? Valuing our uniqueness, using our uniqueness as a tool, as a resource. Card number 1, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Very Aquarius to start us off. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding, and you are part of the universe. So expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you, and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you, or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too. Or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement that can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't, because they were likely born under the proviso of, I'll love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? This is huge, especially with the nodes right now, the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra. This has been pulling us since July of 2023. This has been pulling us into our individuality. It's a time to need to be who you are authentically, and a time to let go of how you're people pleasing, how you're making yourself small to make other people comfortable. We're done with that. Especially right now, the North Node and Chiron are conjunct in Aries, and this is taking place for the rest of February, which is a majority of the time that Venus is going to be in Aquarius. It's time to shine. It's time to be yourself. This is one of my favorite messages. We all have a unique light that we are meant to shine. And if you're holding that back, you're doing a disservice to the whole world. Greg says that's so fitting. Hello, Anik. You're late today. That's okay. It's always recorded and shared on YouTube for free. A free resource. Christine, boom. Alyssa, can I have a poster of that on my wall? You know what? Google it and see if you can print that out. Send it to a print shop. Maybe you can get it pretty giant on your wall. Michelle Mydell, such a good reminder. The light is here to illuminate. Something's coming through about that. So think about, here's an analogy. Someone's sleeping, right? We usually sleep in darkness. That's pretty common, right? That we're all asleep in darkness. Our eyes are closed, we're sleeping. And then here comes this bright light, right in your face. What's your first reaction? Probably pretty pissed off and angry, right? Hey, I was asleep. I was in this nice darkness. Here comes this light. What the hell? But then as the light wakes you up a little bit, I love the light. The first thing I do when I wake up is open all my shades. I love having the light come in, but right away, just having that bright light shine in your face can be a little disruptive. So if you're feeling that reaction from people when you're the one shining your light, when people immediately respond with ugh, no, stop. They're just so comfortable with their darkness that they don't want to see the light. But I think the important part of this card is to give the relationships that time. Allow people the time to adjust. And I'm super guilty of this. I make changes really fast, and then when other people don't keep up, I'm like, that's fine. See ya. I'm out. Give people time to adjust to your life changes as well. Because they might not be against you being bright. It might just take them a minute to come around to get used to the new you, right? Lisa, the poster on my wall, no, this is from Five Below. It's a store where I got that for probably $5 or less. Oh, Suzanne. Chiron and the North Node are conjunct my natal Black Moon Lilith. Exact conjunction. That's a thing in astrology that I haven't done too much research on, so that's going to be up to you, Suzanne. Interesting. Of course, Melissa decided to grab my deck and pull some random cards, and the same one came up. Interesting. All right, card number 2. How else does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? Card number 2 is Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the first move. Or maybe perhaps you are waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all we know in hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than ever before. You go first. Take a good run up and leap. What's in the top of your mind? What's on the front of your mind right now with this? What is the universe calling you to leap towards? What is the universe calling you to leap away from? And how incredibly terrifying is it? Venus in Aquarius wants you to value your authenticity, your uniqueness. There's something about you that is meant for whatever this leap is towards. It's specifically made for you. And the fear is there to show you how excited you can be to be yourself, to leap into this part of yourself. Borrowing from Christine. Boom. April, wow. Michelle, there it is. I love how the universe always delivers. Also, what's on her head in this card? It looks like just her hair. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. It looks like it's just her hair. Liz said, I love what you said about people pleasing, making yourself small to make others comfortable. I can resonate with that so much. Liz, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands energy. That's where I got that from. Suzanne says, wow, this reading. Nicole, leap into my new self-discovery about orientation. Find my people and move. That's beautiful. Self-discovery, absolutely. This Venus in Aquarius, I'm trying really hard just to pinpoint Venus in Aquarius, but I can't negate that Chiron and the North Node are together in Aries right now. It's time to heal who you are, yourself. And Venus in Aquarius is helping us find value in that. She's here to help us with that ROI, right? What's my return on investment? What am I going to get out of being my authentic self? Well, you got to take the leap in order to find that. You're not going to see it until you actually try it. Barbara, bummer. What's a bummer? What's a bummer? This card reminds me of the Fool Tarot card. Absolutely. The Fool is all about taking the leap and knowing that the universe is going to create the path under your foot. But you have to be the one to take the first step. We co-create with the universe. So when things happen, they're happening for us so that we respond, right? Holding my tongue because I'm reading a human design book. 92% of the population is meant to respond to the world, to take in a stimulus and do something with it. So that's what you need to respond to the stimulus to leap, and then the universe can help create the next step for you. But the next step isn't going to appear until you find the courage to go. April, the Fool has been stalking me lately. It's signaling something. Where is Uranus in your chart right now? So Uranus is at 19 degrees of Taurus. April, do you know how to find 19 degrees of Taurus in your chart? Because the Fool is related to Uranus, so maybe that's just impacting your chart in some way. Suzanne, I've been trying out new and to my family weird things lately. Great. Awesome. My family thinks I'm nuts too, but I'm super happy. That's fine, because I don't think I'm nuts. If they think I'm nuts, cool. That's their path. And okay, so here's another thing that came up. When people judge what you're doing, when people tell you that you can't do what you're doing for one reason or another, it has nothing to do with you. It's just because they can't see themselves benefiting from what you're doing. They can't see themselves succeeding at what you want to do. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Stacy, why is that so scary? Because it's unknown. Because it's unknown. It's scary because you don't know what's coming. But fear and excitement feel the same inside of the body. Melinda, both of these cards resonate so deeply. April has her human design. She's a manifesting generator. Yep. Respond. Respond, respond. And you know, especially as a manifesting generator, you know when it's time to leap. You get that like secondary, you get the stimulus and you're like, all right, I'm going to go do it. But then when you're walking out the door, you're kind of like, you know what? I don't want this. And you get to go sit back down and wait for the next stimulus. And then when you do leap, the universe is always going to support you. How do you find out if you are a generator, Michelle? Google free human design chart. And it'll tell you. You're one of 5 types: generator, manifesting generator, manifester, projector, or reflector. You're welcome. All right, card number 3. How does Venus in Aquarius want to serve us? This card comes up all the time. It's the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You are being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or by becoming a part of a group, so that you can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet. To raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. Thank you, Jackie. We are the Great Gathering. This is so beautiful. Being your authentic self, sharing your authentic message. I love that this card talked about sharing the medicine that you need most. And you guys know that I love talking about myself and sharing my story, and this, I feel like you all will be able to resonate with this. Astrologer Jackie. Before I started speaking about astrology on Insight Timer, I was a nutso. I was a lunatic. I was afraid to share this stuff with my husband, with all of our friends. I just felt like a weirdo because I thought that the planets were influencing my life. And I could have chosen to remain scared and to remain small and to keep my message to myself. But the more I started being healed through learning astrology, the more I started realizing that everything is a cycle and everything is temporary and I can see things coming and I can see when they're going to pass, the more I just wanted to scream it from the rooftops because it was so helpful to me. So it has to be helpful to someone else. And I had to accept that it wasn't going to be helpful for everyone, and that's okay. That's fine. I don't need to be for everyone. But the people who this message is impacting, you're all right here, right now. And if I never started speaking up and going public with what I believed about the world, you guys wouldn't be here learning and having these revelations and finding your tribe, right? So it started with me sharing my message, being my authentic self, putting it out there. I also look for people that I can gather with, right? I can't tell you how many astrology Facebook groups I'm a part of, how many human design Facebook groups I'm a part of. It's all connected. So, the Great Gathering. Just keep showing your authenticity. Venus in Aquarius. Value your quirkiness. Value what makes you different. Value what type of innovation you want to bring to the world. What does the world not have enough of that you have, that you want to spread it everywhere? Venus wants you to do that. Someone asked me to show the deck one more time. Here's the deck box, and let me see what else is coming up. This is Work Your Light. Greg said, it's all coming together. Nicole, beautiful card. I think I arrived in perfect time, Fabiana. Such a powerful message. Irina, amen. Nothing to take away, nothing to add. April, I also have this deck and pulled this card a while back. A lot of intuitive hits to connect with like-minded souls, which led me to start joining IT live events, feeling more connected than ever. Exactly. The more comfortable you are with who you are and what you need, the more support you're able to receive. Because you have to get honest with who you are and what you like and what you vibe with. And if other people poo-poo on it, that's not for them. It doesn't have to be for them. It's for you. Lisa, this card 3 message is constantly coming up for me for the last 6 months. I feel I'm starting to finally listen. Bonnie, I got this card a while ago and thought it meant something, and I followed it, but it didn't pan out the way I expected. I got this card again today and am reflecting on how I'm interpreting it. And sometimes the cards say different things. That's why I really love giving the explanation after the cards, because I can read the same message and I get a completely different angle, depending especially on what's going on with the astrology and what type of question we asked to get this card. So I don't think you did anything wrong, but I'm interested to hear how that works out. Andriana, this is the theme of my year so far and last year, coming in stronger and stronger now. Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius, especially with Pluto in Aquarius right now. Pluto loves to show the underbelly, the shadows of Aquarius as our communities. So it might be that some of the groups that we're a part of, we might start to uncover some secrets and realize that we don't really fit in with this tribe, what's going on at the top of this tribe, how this came to be. And that's going to be fine because the more authentic you are in yourself, the more you stand up for what you know is right, what you know the world needs, your next tribe will naturally find you. Thank you, Michelle. You are so inspiring. Thanks for showing us to keep showing up as ourselves. Look at how well these cards sync. Yep. So Venus in Aquarius wants to help you shine brighter. Whoever you are, you're so special. You're so unique. You're so needed somewhere. Maybe not everywhere, and that's okay. That's okay. But the brighter you shine as yourself, so it's like we're all puzzle pieces, and there's a big puzzle and there's a missing spot. And the brighter that you shine, the missing spot where you fit in is going to suddenly look darker because your light is so bright, and you're going to be able to see the contrast. Like, oh, that's for me. That's where I fit, right there. So it's time to shine your authentic light. Take a leap into it. It might be scary to make that transition. If you've been masking for so long, it's terrifying to take the mask off and show the world this is who I really am. But by doing so, you're going to call in your people so strongly. You're going to call them in. Susanna, thing really hitting me now is that my late mother was an Aquarius, and that didn't mean anything to me when she was alive, but it makes me feel and understand some things about her now. Also, my daughter is an Aquarius rising, a very feminine feel. My mom's an Aquarius. Her birthday's in 2 days. Took me a while to figure out what Aquarius is. April says Rebecca Campbell's newest deck is the Healing Waters, and that one is beautiful, and love that one too. I have that one on my wall. Melanie, that's totally happening. Jenny, I won't lie, this all reflects things I've been hearing for a while, but the message is a bit overwhelming to me. I value that. I validate that for you, Jenny. Take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time. You got a lot of days left. You don't have to make a radical transformation today. That might be what my energy gives off because that's how I like to live life, but you can just take one step at a time. Join one Facebook group that you thought your family would judge you for, and then find how much it resonates with you, and then let that expand into the next step that you take. Maybe look for a group on meetup.com that resonates with you, and maybe you don't tell anyone that you're doing it at first, but then when you really start benefiting from it, then you might invite a friend who you think would benefit from it. And if they call you nuts and tell you that they just can't talk to people like you, then okay, they're not my friend anymore. I have these new friends because I found this new group of people that I get along with. Do you have any resources on human design? Personally, no, I haven't created any resources yet. The way that I learn all of my information is really just like picking and choosing off the internet what I find. Yeah, honestly, Facebook groups have been great. Just human design on Facebook and see what comes up. And then if you know what your type is, I'm a manifester, and being a part of these manifester Facebook groups, it's just mind-blowing that like there's people out there who live like me, who feel the way that I feel, who are not generators. And oh my God, I feel so heard and validated. So honestly, that's been great because you learn from personal experience instead of just reading a book from someone who is not who you are. Kelly's a projector. Yeah, there's plenty of projector Facebook groups. Absolutely. And then also there's groups for your profile, your numbers. I'm a 5-1. I'm part of a lot of 5-1 groups. It's fun. Christine says there's a beginner course on Insight Timer. Thanks, Christine. Did not know that. I actually recently joined a Facebook group and feel so understood there. It's like-minded community. There's people out there like you. The first step is accepting who you are, and then you get to commune with other people like you. But if you keep pretending, right, keep shoving it down, no, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way. It's gonna scream. Jackie's with me. My sidekick, Jacqui. I happen to manifest a sidekick who's exactly like me. We're both 5-1 emo manifestors. Jenny, I suppose the joy was too strong. That makes sense. Get that. Greg, I recommend Vanessa Naja here on Insight Timer for human design. Vanessa Naja. Thanks, Greg. She has great stuff. Sophia, I closed Facebook years ago, but this might be a reason to open it again and let it be medicine, not an overwhelming bombing of BS like in the past. Yes, I did the same. When I was going through my awakening, I tucked away social media, and then I realized that it could be used for multiple purposes. There's ads everywhere. I just scroll right past them. I really use Facebook now just for the groups. I only want to see what people are talking about in the groups. I've been posting in the groups. I haven't posted real content on social media for a while. I'm just learning how to utilize the tools. Well, you two need us generators to get the thing done. Exactly. Exactly. We all have our role. We all have our role. We need the projectors to lead us, to guide us, to tell us how to do the thing the best way. We need the manifestors to get the ball rolling, to say, hey, here's an idea. Now you guys take it. And we need the reflectors to show us what we're actually doing. We need the reflectors to pierce into us and say, I see all parts of you that you don't see. This is what you're actually doing. I did that during my zodiac season, Sophia. It could be healing to take a break. Bonnie, I also took a break during Capricorn season. Interesting. One more card from one more deck. Because we're talking about Venus in Aquarius, right? She wants us to embrace our authenticity, to place value on it, to use our authenticity as a tool in the world. But she's going to meet up with Pluto on Saturday. And Venus is going to fall deep down into that dark, shadowy hole that Pluto has been digging. So what does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? What does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? And I don't use this deck very often. I felt called to use the Tree of Life Oracle. I don't have much to say about it because I still don't know much about this deck, but it found me, so I'm supposed to use it to ask, what does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? And feel free to send your energy into this deck. Just one card to answer our question. Darla's sleeping like a baby. If you have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to, wow, cards exploding. If you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. If you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, feel free to give me a follow here so that you can see when my sidekick Jacqui posts my new classes. I'm live here a handful of times of the week, depending on the astrology. My days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:15 Central Time. Not every day, every week, but you know. If you want to see what I'm up to outside of Insight Timer, hang on, let me recenter Venus. What does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? If you want to connect with me outside of Insight Timer, my Insight Timer bio has my link tree. And in my link tree, there's all sorts of fun places to go. You can join my email list. You can follow my YouTube channel where I post all of these replays. You can follow me on Facebook or TikTok. You can find out a little bit more about me on Linktree. Wow, whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff. April says we have the same decks. Love it. Yep. These cards are going all over the place today. What does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? Because Venus knows how to transmute. Venus is the divine feminine. Pluto's been showing us a lot of nasty. Pluto's been showing us the underbelly that we usually try to avoid. So what does Venus suggest that we do with all of that? Thank you, Arsenia, for your donation. Much appreciated. Nicole says, I have the Tree of Life on my comforter set and curtains. My sign I asked my mom to send me is rainbows. Aw, that's so cute. Here's the rainbows. Guys, when I show this, some of you guys are gonna poop yourself. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? The Fool. The Fool card. And here goes Darla. Say what? The Fool? The 11th path, the Fool. Leap of faith, freedom, and trust. And I'm going to say these words completely wrong. No judgment, I'm trying my best. From Kether to Shakma, if you're standing at the top of the tree, you'll find the tarot card of the Fool and the planet Uranus. Sophia, the question is, what does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? So now that we're down there, we're seeing the shadows, What does Venus suggest we do with that? What is it that you want to manifest? Perhaps you only know the next step, but that may be enough. The Fool, a bit of a rogue perhaps, but certainly one for embracing a good time, relishing his freedom, safe in the knowledge that when he takes his leap of faith, he will be caught. It's not easy being a spiritual energy in an earthly world, but it's what you've signed up for, and your divine nature is needed here, which is why you took that leap from spirit into being. We've all heard the saying, you're a spiritual being having an earthly experience. That could have been written for the Fool. Marrying your divine nature to the demands of the washing up is essential. How can you use the freedom of this card in the sure and constant knowledge that when you leap, you'll be caught? It's not about being reckless, not about being foolish, but about displaying your unique being in a way that helps you show up as your wonderful self. What's calling you to do just that? Where do you need to trust in the gods and in what you've gathered around you? Those around you may suggest you're being foolish. Who cares? Before the bungee jump, it's no bad idea to stop, take in the view, and remind yourself of the support of the harness around you. Take a breath now and take in the support around you from the view of this high point. Then breathe again and again. Still yourself before making that call, sending that email, drawing a big thick line under that problem. Yeah, this could not be any more accurate. The middle card of our first reading was leap, taking the leap of faith. So, okay, what are we leaping towards? What are we leaping away from? What does Venus suggest we do with Pluto's depth? There's something that's coming up right now because Pluto wants to show you the worst. Pluto's showing you the least beautiful thing right now. And what Venus suggests that you do is use that to push yourself off the ledge. Use that darkness, that depth as the catalyst. However, don't forget about all the support that you have around you. And maybe by being your most authentic self, the support that you need is in the people around you. The people that you've found because you have been your most authentic self. That might be exactly what you need to feel supported to take the leap. Just want to look at this for a second. Look how happy he is. He doesn't look pretty terrified. He's looking straight up into the sky. He's going upwards. What's coming up for you guys? What's the leap? This card also speaks to the leap that our spirit had to take to leap into this physical earthly body. That probably was very scary. You're this 12th dimensional being. Who knows what dimension we were on before we came into this dense 3D reality. We were in bliss. We were just having the time of our lives. Everything's wonderful. I'm just a light being. I'm a spirit. And I'm gonna plunge myself down into the density of the third dimension. We had to do that in order to have everything that we have right now. That's not so bad. This is the only place we get to use our senses. This is the only place we get to taste food and smell smells and feel hugs from people we love. Bonnie has a lot going on in her brain. Me too. Thank you, Christine. Another great reading with your intuitive downloads. Lori and Samantha, thank you guys for your donations. Christine, my leap is away from doctors who no longer serve me or my animals. Be your authentic self. Don't dim to fit in, right? Don't say, okay, doctor, I trust you. You know my body better than I do. I know. You know my cat better than I do, who I've lived with for teens of years. Yeah, don't dim, take that leap. And then you might find people, this is when you can look to, I love the internet for reasons like this. You can look for people around you, especially, I don't know if you're on Facebook, Christine, but Instagram and whatever. I don't know how that works. But natural animal healing, like people who are just animal intuitives. What do you guys do? We obviously think the same way. We don't want other authorities telling us how we should be treating our animals. So let me learn from people who think the way that I do. It can be as simple as that. This doesn't need to be like leaping away from a job, leaping away from a relationship. It doesn't always have to be that big. It can be, but whatever's coming up is what's meant to be coming up right now. Sophia, love that reflection, Jacqui. Deep wisdom coming through. Thank you. Bonnie, so true. Great reading. Thanks, April and Suzanne and Martine. Break from what doesn't serve us. Exactly, Michelle. Let me tell you guys what's coming up in my life. I'll be here on Friday talking about Pisces season. Pisces season starts this weekend. And then I'll be back here on Insight Timer on Wednesday because Venus and Mars come together in the sky in Aquarius. So that's going to be a nice little reset of a lot of stuff. And then I should probably send this email out pretty soon. Next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, I should get that email out tomorrow. I'm hosting a free webinar where I will walk you guys through how to find a degree point in your natal chart. So that when I come here on Insight Timer and I say Venus is at 0 degrees of Aquarius, you can feel into what that actually means for you. So if you want to be a part of that webinar, be sure to hop on my email list because I will be sending that email out probably tomorrow. That's going to be at 9 o'clock Central Time. So right now for me, it's 9:12 Central Time. So that's going to be at 9 o'clock on Thursday, the 22nd. The only place to get that link is through my email list. And that's it. So if you guys want to sit with me and learn how to do all of that, please join that. If you missed some of this, the recording will be on my YouTube channel, so you can always go back and rewatch. If you are more of a visual person, Bonnie helps me with our spiritual community. That's the group that I have here on Insight Timer. So Bonnie takes all the text from the cards of the day and she reposts it in the group on Insight Timer called Our Spiritual Community. So feel free to join that as well. We share a lot of cool meditations and just insights and fun stuff there as well. So it's not only about the cards, but it's a lot about the cards. It's just another place to find your people, to gather with the greatness that is our spiritual community. Thank you so much, Karen, for your donation. I will see you guys on Friday. Yes. I hope that you all find the silver lining in all of these uncomfortable emotions, because it seems like it's the uncomfortable emotions that are pushing us into or away from something. And you're the only one who knows what that means for you. I hope that video was just as insightful for you as it was for all of us. Darla and I really appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for liking this video, sharing it with a friend who you think would benefit, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment and let us know what you got from this video. What was your biggest insight or takeaway? If you want to see what else I'm working on, click on my link tree. It's right underneath this YouTube video. We'll see you next time. Take care.